You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on WMNF Tampa 88.5. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We are live here on your airwaves every Friday at 2 p.m. Today is very special because we have a co-host in studio today. I actually get to give over a little bit of my ego to a very talented individual here who's been a regular on the station now for a while on Waves of the Bay on Saturday nights, 10 to 12, right?
10 to 12.
That's right.
Yes.
DJ Spaceship is in the house today. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. How about yourself?
I couldn't be happier to have you on, man. I love listening to your guys' show just because of the back and forth that you and Tone have.
Yeah.
You know, the rapport that you guys have developed and the way that you guys not only showcase local music, but the way that you guys really like get into the nitty gritty of what comes in. What goes into like making that music and the artists behind it. So like it's awesome. If you guys have a chance, if you're turning on the radio at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, definitely you want to tune in to Waves of the Bay. Now, not only that, obviously this show is called Live Music Showcase, and because of that, we have the band The Dog Apollo. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
They're good. I love it. They have a show tonight at Hooch and Hive.
Oh, yeah.
We love that spot.
We're
That's
stoked.
such a cool spot. Have you guys played there yet before?
I've actually never been. Have you ever been there?
We've never been. No, we were scheduled to go before COVID, and then COVID happened.
Oh, man.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. So when you get there, there's a giant ball pit. No, I'm just kidding. There's no pit. So they have a show tonight at Hooch and Hive. Broken Mold Entertainment is the one organizing that event. You guys have any? Who's playing with you guys for that show?
It's ourselves, a band called Chaunces. I think they're out of Tampa, and another band out of Tampa called Drain Outs.
The Drain
And
Outs.
they're both killer. I think it's a really good lineup. I think it's going to be.
Love that. Those guys, have been trying to get those guys on the show for a while now.
They're awesome.
They were playing. They played at the Gasparilla Music Fest that happened over there in the fall, and looks like I wonder if they're going to be playing this year. I don't remember, but either way, definitely you're going to want to give those guys a look. So for more information, you can find them, The Dog Apollo, on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
Twitter.
What else? Yeah.
We have a TikTok too.
TikTok,
Yeah.
perfect.
If you like funny videos or geeky videos, that's what we do on there.
Funny geeky. That's my personal demographic that I tend to gravitate towards.
Ours
Yeah.
are mostly geeky, so.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, I'd love to hear a song from you guys.
Cool. All right, this is called Heartbeat. Rachel? surrounding. Let me feel your heart. 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 Let me feel your heart beat.
Man, the dog Apollo. Oh, come on, man. Y'all make some noise for that, man. You can't make noise for yourself. Make some noise for that, man.
Love it.
I seen the
That felt good.
Yeah, I seen the conviction and,
I was
and
nervous.
the emotion. Like I be tuned in. Ken, you got some competition, man. Some steep competition. going
Listen,
on, man.
I don't even want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it.
Listen, man, I really appreciate that. Like,
Thank you, man.
What was the
good.
motivation behind that song? Like I'm just,
I think, well, I always try to, I think a lot of my words are very feeling based.
Gotcha.
And feelings aren't always like cut and dry. It's not like the folk singer where he's telling a direct story. It's
Right.
more sort of these abstractions that are a result of something I'm feeling at the moment. So, so yeah, sorry, my guitar's ringing right now. But yeah, no, I guess it was a result of that and just feeling love. Yeah, in general, and then that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
feeling somebody's heartbeat, being close in that way.
I definitely like that, man. Like it pulled me in. It took me to a place. I DJ, and when I'm on the ones and twos. I just kind of go to that place of just calm, still, and get in the room and the atmosphere. Everybody pulled in, but like you drew me in, man. Like I'm a fan
Thanks.
just off of one song already.
I was feeling it, man. It felt good.
Can I have your autograph?
Oh no, man, we want your autograph after this. Both of you.
Ah, man, don't worry about
That
that.
was that was the song that I listened to anytime we have a new band on the show. The first thing we do is we listen to the
gotta
music,
listen.
right? You gotta listen. And I got about 30 seconds into that song, and I was like, "Yep,
That's it.
that'll work.
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
these
yeah.
guys are solid. I like the Depeche Mode feel, the little touches of 80s and stuff like that. Yeah, man.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah. And so you guys will be playing at the Hooch and Hive, right?
Yes.
So
Huge and Hive.
So how long is your set that you guys will be playing now?
What'll it be? 35? Yeah. What do you think? Maybe 40? 35, 40?
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I need to ask you talking to Mike. So
Yeah.
Got to speak
Come on,
into
man.
the microphone.
Yeah, it's all right,
30,
man. It's
45
okay.
minutes.
It's all good. Yeah, man.
And you guys will be playing that song there as well?
Yes.
yes, we might be opening with it, possibly. I don't know.
Okay, and now what project is that from? Because I would really like to find out what project that's on to hear more of what you guys have going with that.
We put out a couple different songs over 2020, and it's part of that. It's part of a EP we call Isadora.
Gotcha.
You can find it on Spotify, Bandcamp, everywhere you can stream music. We
Gotcha.
got live versions of it on YouTube, all that.
Now, a question that I want to throw out to the two of y'all, and even yourself, Ken.
Yeah.
The pandemic happened. We're all entertainers. We're in the entertainment industry, and it affects us all differently. But how are you brothers doing mentally? Like, how's your mental during this whole pandemic? Coming out, finally being able to say how you doing and see people other than the four walls that you've been looking at the past, umpteen months.
Feels awesome to be able to get out and tour again.
Yeah.
Has been probably the biggest lift. I mean, I think we're both fairly introverted individuals, so we spend a lot of time alone anyway, just in our rooms
So
writing.
it was nothing new to you guys.
Being weirdos.
Yeah.
But
So, somehow it was actually a return to self.
yeah, I think more people are probably now like how we were our entire lives, just more
Right.
introverted and weird. But yeah, no, it's been good to get out. The biggest thing I think for me, I think Joel too, is just being able to get out and actually play live.
Yeah.
Which we love doing, So it was kind of like just heartbreaking not to be able to
Yeah.
do that for a few years.
Yeah, like for me myself, I'm not introvert. I'm out with the people. I like to, hey, how you doing? I like long walks on the beach and stuff like that. For me, it made me sit still and spend more time with self and family to learn more about myself and more creative type stuff and take time to listen to other artists and other DJs and creatives out there doing that thing. What about yourself, Ken?
It was such a cool opportunity to just kind of reevaluate what I wanted to be doing and what I thought I wanted to be doing, which as it turned out was there was a disconnect between those two things. And I think that, I keep calling it like the great catalyst for musicians because either they were like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Or they went, you know what, I've never wanted to do anything more in my life, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write every song that pours out of me, and I'm going to perfect my craft. I'm going to learn how to market my music, because it doesn't matter how pretty and shiny a diamond is if no one knows where to dig for it.
Right.
And at the end of the day, all you can do is follow your heart that way.
Yeah.
So that's all you can do.
Yeah, another thing that I learned too is, it's like advertising, like
Yeah.
this day and age. In the 90s, we didn't have the internet, and then it came
Yeah.
along. You had the CDs. I don't want to tell my age or put my age out there, but you had the little AOL CDs. If you had something that had minutes on it, you use it. And then as time went on, now everybody has an iPhone, some kind of smart device. Instagram and Facebook, the social media platforms. I learned the importance of advertising myself using the reels and the algorithms and stuff like that, and watching other people interviews and listening to different shows and stuff like that to help refresh and reset myself. And that's something that kind of helped my mental, and just like iron sharpens iron type stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I'd love to dive into I've been kind of paying attention to the way you guys tend to advertise yourselves and how there's, like you said, like the nerd funny kind of thing. But I'd love to hear another song before we talk about that.
Yeah.
We'd love to play you another song before we talk about that.
I like the energy
happens.
mirroring.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
We love you, Ken.
There it is.
I'm gonna try to keep this. I'm gonna turn on compressor, so hopefully that's not too much noise. All right.
There we go.
And this is called. I think we're doing Lost, right, Joel?
Lost.
All right, let's hit it. I'm lost. Look up to the stars, man. Galaxies I glide across. I'm lost when nothing's right. Ignite and burn, true and bright. I'm lost. Shine your light out to sea. Isolated, free. I'm lost. We get what we're given in blood red sky. I sail forgiven. I'm lost. Howling in the breeze on a summer night. You let me know, you let me know. Nothing in the past ever felt so right. You let me know. I'm lost. A four-letter word is a ball and chain, an anchor to the brain. I'm lost. The weight's not a problem when you're made to sink down to the bottom. I'm lost. Howling in the breeze on a summer night. You let me know, you let me know. Nothing in the past ever felt so right. You let me know, you let me know. I've been in here so long. Let me go, let me go. Holding fast against the tide, I let it go. When the water's rising underneath the bridge, so too we'll raise up all your sunken ships below, below. Howling in the breeze on a summer night. Let me know, let me know. Turn my back against the tide, I let it go. And I've been in here so long. Let me go, let me go. Turn my back against the light, I let it go. And I set free what I denied. Let it go, it goes, it goes, it goes, it goes, it goes, it goes.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5. I'm Ken Apperson. There's a number of ways that you can consume this show, really. You can consume it with your ears. You can consume it with your eyes. You can listen to us on the radio, 88.5 FM. You can also listen to us live this show and every other show at WMNF.org. You can also listen to this show and every other show in podcast form, distributed everywhere that you get podcasts. You can find this show at Live Music Showcase, wherever you get podcasts. Just search Live Music Showcase. You can also watch the show live as it's happening in our live stream on our Facebook page, WMNF's Live Music Showcase on Facebook. Just search us, follow us, get that little notification every time we go live, and get to see all of the things that are happening behind the scenes, as well as all of the things that you can't see when you're just listening to it on the radio. So we talked a little bit before that last song, and by the way, I love that. You're just continuing that whole like 80s meets modern, rock band vibe, and I love that. So as far as like the marketing thing, I think that that's something, maybe I touch on it too much, I don't know. Frankly, I think that it's something that musicians often forget to learn how to do effectively. We spend so much time learning our chords and learning our progressions and learning our paradiddles, and then we go, okay, that's all I need to learn. I don't need to do anything else. I'll make the music, I'll put it out there, and people will love it, or they won't, which is not how it works, at least not anymore.
Yeah,
if it ever worked that way, it certainly doesn't work that way now. Now, because of all of the different ways that people can consume media, it's just as important to learn, almost the way you learn an instrument, how to learn to be effective in your marketing. So at what point for you guys did you sit down and go, we got to get good at this? Was there a moment, or did you just kind of naturally already know that that needed to happen?
I think quarantine for sure, right, Joel?
I think we dialed it in during quarantine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a graphic designer, so I work in marketing all day, every day. So that helps a little bit. We kind of have a clear-cut vision. As far as kind of, I think, pinpointing a sound like that darker 80s kind of vibe, we've really kind of leaned into that, more of the post-punk kind of thing, and maybe a little bit of the goth scene, too. We kind of have some of those vibes. And so, yeah, we've definitely spent some time trying to figure out, what genres we kind of like revolve around, since we don't fit in exactly one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hear that, because for one thing, it takes a lot of courage as a band to sit down and go, this is what we're going to sound like. Yeah. Now, maybe you went through
it wasn't conscious, I promise, at all.
There's a lot of trial and error that comes into that.
It's just writing, yeah.
It's just writing.
I never thought what we would sound like, and then people said we sound like Joy Division. I just didn't know who that was.
Right.
I don't know who any of these bands are. I don't even listen to that music. I'm more of a Beach Boys fan than anything.
Mark is clapping his hands inside the control booth. Mark Perfetti in there, sound mixer Mark. So when it all right. So you guys, there wasn't a single moment as far as like developing your sound, but there must have been a moment where you're like, okay, we have enough songs that sound like this. This is probably just the direction we need to go. Is that right?
Yeah, kind of. I think when we finished writing the 4 songs we put out during 2020, that was kind of like carving out a whole new direction for us.
Yeah.
That was really the first like stint where Chris and I wrote solely together, too.
Gotcha.
And that's really like, the band has been different things in its, time of existence. And I would say like, this is kind of the direction where we kind of felt the band should be going the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's, so that would, if there was a moment, it was probably when we completed writing those songs and we're listening back, we're like, okay, this is dark and it's got, those genre vibes that we were kind of talking about. And so, yeah, I guess if we had to put a finger on a moment, that would be it.
I love that. That's so cool. So on Waves of the Bay, DJ Spaceship, this is, by the way, DJ Spaceship is one of the DJs on Waves of the Bay every Saturday, 10 to 12 p.m., 10 to 12 a.m., 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Do you see that a lot with the artists that you guys showcase on your show, as far as like being good at the whole marketing element of it, or do you have to like really dig for the music that you really like?
Some artists, well, I'm kind of different when I look for something. Like when I find something, an artist, a band or a group that I really like I approach them. I do my research. I like kind of be a creep and I do my research in the background. But some artists, you have to kind of dig and, reach and look a little different ways and different tactics and stuff. So I like to call myself 007, DJ Spaceship 007.
Nice.
But it's always refreshing when you have an artist that has it just like, pow, right there. Like you go to the store, you buy the shirt, it has both sleeves, the front and the back, and the design is on it. It's not like IKEA where I have to put it together.
Yeah.
So, and you can.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
You can attest to that too. Like, something that's already like a together project. You see what I'm saying?
Like Rooms to Go, man, or Ashley Home Store. It's awesome.
Right. Well, just got to get it delivered on time. As long as it's delivered on time and that's put together, I love it, man. It's just like gold.
Yeah, and I think you guys seem like you've got that figured out, or at least you're on the pathway to really
Yeah.
locking it down.
We're on the path.
I think whatever you manifest kind of develops over time,
Yes.
and the more you do that, you look at it, you're able to see it objectively as time goes on, and you take bits of it, and that's how you develop, and that's what development is. And I think we're finally at a point, at least for me, I've in my writing, where it's like, okay, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses, and that kind of helps act as sort of a kind of guidepost as to which direction to take. You just kind of follow yourself and that inner compass, I guess.
Gotcha.
Musical thing.
Yeah, it's like you look for what feels right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You follow that.
Yeah,
and then along the way, you install some rivets that help you maintain that structure, so to speak. So it's organic and it's authentic, but it's also professional, and it's also packaged in a way that the public can receive it.
Yeah, and it's also realizing like what you suck at is just as
Yes.
important. Honestly, it's just
Very
important as knowing
important.
like what you're good at. Because like, okay, I can't do this, but maybe my voice lends itself to this approach.
Yeah.
So you lean into those things. It's the same with anything, which what Joel does or what I'm doing on guitar, any of that. So,
Yeah. So you guys are doing a bit of a tour, accurate? Sort of, kind of.
Yeah, it's
we like to think of it as a tour.
Yeah, we work full time, and so like
Sure.
music is our second job, and it's our passion project. So we're 9 to 5, and then if we can get PTO on a Friday, then
Yeah.
we're Friday through Sunday music.
PTO.
PTO Fridays, I love it.
There it is. I love that. So I'd love to talk about how different it is to wear those two different hats. Because it's a lot of people have to do that. A lot of musicians that are doing what you guys are doing are also, paying their bills. I mean, everybody has to. So I'd love to hear about that. But let's go into your next song before we dive into that. That's a whole subject on its own.
Oh yeah, this is I think the oldest song. I think I wrote this song in like 2012. I was like a freshman in college. This will be fun.
It's had many iterations.
Many iterations. I love it.
Around the sundial, I'll spread my wings. Papers on file, the beauty of all these things. Arms in motion, do they comfort you? Our emotion, will it see me through? Deep in summer, I will rest my bones until the platform of salvation carry me to home, and I won't fill the void with things that I've known not. Ever quiet insurrection, all that's been overboard. Gone tomorrow, dreams I held for you, washed in sorrow, with the wind they flew. Carry across that stifles and unfolds, lift up the pain that has so long been foretold. Deep in summer, I will rest my bones until the platform of salvation carry me to home, and I won't fill the void with things that I've known not. Ever quiet insurrection, all that's been overbought. Get buried in a cemetery, grab hold of me and film. The market is dry, the sawdust is low, the tracks are off key, they shoot from below. My brain tends to slip, it's tied up in knots, the breakdown is coming. Deep in summer, I will rest my bone until the platform of salvation carry me to home. When I say no, 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 I won't bide my time. No, 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 imploding of the mind.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5.
Man, listen, just sit back watching you guys remind me and my partner Tone, man. Like y'all, it's like Scotty and Jordan. Like you, the communication, or Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison.
Wow.
Like they move without the ball.
High praise.
Yeah, without communication. Like the true happiness in life is freedom. As stated before we went into the nice song that you guys just played. We all have to, some of us musicians have 9-to-5s and stuff like that. Other than Grammy, aspirations and, to get those awards and playing on those big shows, the O2 arenas and stuff, I'm pretty sure, like, being full-time musicians is on the top of your list.
Yeah, for us, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a dream. I mean, yeah, again, we both work, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, like day jobs.
Right.
We both do things we love, too, so it's kind of like, if this is all it ever is, this is nirvana, I think.
Yeah.
But if it could get to a point where, music took over, awesome. But, we'll be what is now considered the working class musicians, and probably until we die.
Yeah. When you do it as long as we have, you realize those delusions of grandeur you had
Yeah.
are all just a bunch of baloney,
And
for lack
then-
of a better term.
And then even, like with the social media era, it's like you can perform from anywhere. So,
Yeah.
it's not like you're in just one space. Like myself, catch a lunch break, it's either make a mix or, go ahead and just, eat some food or just take a little, shorter break. How do you guys manage your balance between work life and music life?
God, do we even manage it?
It's the thing where, like, I do my job and it's always kind of, something I'm ruminating back there, even if I'm consciously,
Right.
like I'm there present at work and I'm knocking out projects, but, like there's always like something will inspire, this, because this is really, this is our passion. So yeah, I guess as far as the balance goes, we're there, to do our jobs during the day, and then, we kind of put on the bat signal goes up at night, and we go out and we do the music there.
Right.
Yeah, but it's cool too because you got like GarageBand voice memos. So I mean, if something, that part of my brain is kind of always weird and just kind of receptive.
A Dory moment.
Right, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. So it's like if something comes to me even at work, I mean, I can always just put it on my phone, sing it, and I can have it for later, and then I can go work on it that night.
Yeah.
So it's made things a lot easier. I think being the digital age in a lot of ways.
It's that way for me as well, because I can hear like a different song. Like once upon a time, and this is a story that I never told, but I'm gonna tell it.
Oh, I love it.
One of my favorite places to eat off of the Riverwalk is Stone's Throw.
Yep.
And I was taking a stroll down there one day, and you were down there playing.
Yep.
Ken, you were down there playing, and this might sound crazy, but you actually turned my eyes open. You helped me create a mix between Bill Withers, Grandma's Hands,
Yeah, I did
and
that. I remember.
No Diggity.
This guy loves
Black
Bill
Sugar.
Withers right here.
Yes.
Oh
and
my God.
So it's like every time I hear that song, like I've heard people, play it out in different spots and stuff, and I hear it and they be like, Graham, I'm like, Ken. Ken Withers. Yeah.
So I did that in that particular song because that's what I do for a living. That's actually my day job, is playing cover music around town, among other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the like 5 jobs that I have right now, that's the one that actually pays my bills. And I'm really lucky for that. Like really lucky.
Wow.
We live in an area where that is actually possible.
Tampa Bay is big for that. I know.
Tampa Bay
it's
is
very
very big for that. Yeah.
mineral rich.
Yeah.
And personally, when it came to that kind of stuff, all I ever wanted to do was just kind of point out to people that knew No Diggity that the sample from that song
This is where it came from.
originally came from Grandma's Hands by
Yeah.
Bill Withers, which is where that dun, 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 that's where that comes from. So that's all it was. But enough about me. I really appreciate you pointing that out. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Like it's I've been at parties and gigs and stuff and played that out, and they're like, wait, I didn't know, because I like the originals and then going to the samples and stuff like that. So I appreciate you for that, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So before we dive into anything else, I want to make sure that the listeners know, if you're listening right now, if you're listening to WMNF right now, that means that you probably really like WMNF right now and have liked WMNF for a while. And you are probably well aware of the pledge drives that we do here at WMNF. We have a pledge drive coming up next week. This show's episode next week is going to be our pledge drive episode. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't let that be an excuse to turn off your radio. As a matter of fact, you get content during the pledge drives that you're never going to get anywhere else any other way, because the shows often transform into a different version of themselves just to get the message out there that this station and what we do, as clean and crisp as it might sound coming through your radio or coming through your computer right now, that doesn't happen without the support of every single listener that listens to this station. And it's an easy thing. All you have to do is go to WMNF.org and hit the tip jar button. That'll take you to how you can donate and how much you can donate. And there's no limit to how much you can donate. You can donate however much you want. So feel free to check that out. Matter of fact, go ahead and go to WMNF.org and donate what you can. You don't have to wait until next week. You can do it right now if you want to. And when you do us a favor, direct your donation to Live Music Showcase, or direct your donation to Waves of the Bay.
Waves of the Bay.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Next week, it's going to be all about live music showcase. That's the plan. But so do us a favor, donate what you can, when you can, and stick around with us next week. So guys, if you're up for it, I would love to hear a little bit more of that super cool indie 80s modern. What do you call it? What do you call the genre that you guys are? Do you have a name for it?
I'll say alt sometimes, alternative. Yeah,
Yep.
I guess indie's probably something. Everything's indie right now, though. So
Hey,
that's,
Yeah,
That's
we're
okay.
indie, bro. We're cool.
Get on in.
yeah.
You've got the tattoos, you've got the Gibson, you've got the cool drums and the like giant bass drum. I love it. It's awesome.
We're realizing what a cliche we are now. It's awful.
See, there's archetypes and there's stereotypes. And the archetypes are the ones that are authentic about the thing that they're doing. And I think that you guys get to
Thank
fall
you.
into that category.
Yeah, I think you guys will fall
well
into
done.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's very high praise, Ken. Thank you.
I promise you it's genuine too. I'll say the same thing off mic as I will on mic too. But yeah, if you guys want to play
Cool.
another one, I think
Yeah,
the audience would love to
absolutely.
hear
This
it.
song has a bad word in it, so I'm gonna change it.
That's a
last
great
minute.
idea.
Cool. Thanks,
Great
guys.
idea.
Didn't realize that before. All right. You ready? Just go straight into it. All right. Backed away from where you felt, so terrified of where you are. Didn't think this is the way it all turned out. I'm better now, I'm better. To the shore, I'm a stranger now. My head abounds, my head abounds. Certain that the waves muff, but love is an ocean, so fast an ocean. Cold and aimless, my last orbit. No horizon, my last orbit. Inside this strange disillusion now, I've come around, back on the ground. Every dusk is an inception, found to reach his heaven. My pain's my weapon, cold and aimless. My last orbit, no horizon. My last orbit. My last orbit.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 WMNF. I'm your host, Ken Apperson. We do this thing live every single week, every Friday, 2:05, 2:06 p.m., somewhere around there, depending on how long the news runs, typically. But so one thing that I always like to dig into when it comes to bands, when it comes to especially bands that like you guys wear a couple different hats as far as like your day jobs and what you do here in the like I actually really like how transparent you guys are about that, because not every band like wants to even mention that fact. They think it's like too much of a look behind the curtain or whatever.
Yeah.
So one thing that I always look for is wedding rings. Yeah, I saw yours. I
we
don't
go.
see one on your
I like to
hand.
play the field, Ken. You know what I mean?
You like to play the field. Okay. Again, I'm enjoying the transparency, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what you say to the things that I'm about to ask you real quick. So as far as that goes, so you're married.
Yep.
You've been married for how long?
7 years. Well, it'll be 8 years this October.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you were together for a while before that too.
About 6 years before that. Yeah.
And how long have you guys been a band?
I've been
Approximately.
playing with Chris.
2017, 2018.
Yeah, 2018 I
did
think
we
would be
start
like my
playing together?
official return. I was in for a brief stint, and then I trained 3 drummers in my absence and decided to come back and just make it,
Know what?
be
I'm
the
gonna do
full
it
time.
myself.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's fine.
that was kind of how it went.
That's good. I love it. So okay, so the marriage has existed longer than the band has existed,
Oh, yeah.
essentially.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm very jealous,
Of course, yeah. He gets all of the love from the wife and leaves very little for you.
My lonely butt,
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to that, I always think it's interesting the way that bands deal with relationships or lack thereof in being a band, because there's a lot of friction that comes up. There's a lot of stigmas that musicians often wear that they have to deal with that are not always true. You're obviously married and faithful. You're obviously faithful to the game.
I like that.
I mean,
You
I
like
try,
that?
I like to
Faithful
think
to
I
like
am.
that.
So, okay, so as far as that goes, do you guys have any trouble in the home life when it comes to, well, sorry, honey, I'm not free on Friday night. I got to go play a show.
I would say no. I mean, my wife and I are pretty scheduled people, and we're trying to get better at that. She would actually be here this weekend, but we both realized that she had work.
Yeah.
And we were going to make a whole weekend of this, so it'll just be tonight. But we like Tampa enough, and I kind of mapped out where we want to go during the day today, so we'll hit up the spots we want to. But no, there's not really too much friction. I think it comes down to sometimes it's like as long as we get everything scheduled out beforehand, and
Yeah.
my wife's awesome. She's a musician, so she gets it. We met doing music, so she understands the drive and all that. Yeah, she's a singer-songwriter, Pamela Elaine. If you want to check her out on all the socials, an incredible
Wife
songwriter.
plug.
Yep.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Very good. I like
That'll
it.
save you when you get home, pal.
She's actually the talented musician in our house. I'm just the guy that makes a lot of noise.
Wow,
Hey,
that's
that helps
awesome.
out. That's the combination. Where is it exactly that you guys from?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah. mhm.
Okay, because there's one out in Texas and a couple of.
I think
Oh,
every
yeah.
state has a Jacksonville.
Yeah.
in it.
That's true.
It's
That's
crazy.
true.
Yeah, it's like when growing up as a kid, looking at the map and seeing geography, like, wow, there's a Hollywood, California, and there's a Hollywood, Florida,
Yep.
and you guys are up in from Duval County. So
Duval.
Speak of the music scene, the Green Bridges, the Danes Point Bridge. So you didn't know I knew that. Speak of the music scene. How was the
I didn't
music
know that.
scene? Really?
No, I don't know anything about Jacksonville, except that these guys are from there.
Listen,
Oh, you're not missing much.
the seafood is amazing. These guys are from there, so that's amazing. How was the music scene like? How was it up there? Playing out spots up there.
Yeah, and how is it compared to here?
I'm gonna hurt Jacksonville's feelings with this, but I've had more fun playing shows in Tampa as a musician than I have in Jacksonville. But Jacksonville has an awesome music community.
Yeah.
I think maybe there's less interest in Jacksonville on original music and more interest on cover bands in
Gotcha.
Jacksonville. And we have some killer cover bands, and we do have some killer original artists.
Right.
But you can definitely see when you go to a restaurant and it's packed, and you go to like an actual club and it's a little more sparse, you kind of know where Jacksonville's where their priorities lie.
Yeah, because I remember I used to the landing was a hot spot up there.
It was, yeah.
Get real busy during football season.
Yeah.
So that was a big spot. I used to see cover bands and original band doing the thing up there, as well as the beaches out on Jacksonville beaches and stuff like that. I think that's on the south side or something like that. But yeah, I'm just having a good time up there, man.
Yeah, Jacksonville, it's got its own thing, I guess. I don't know.
That's why you're here in
It's
Tampa.
all right. Yeah, we had to get out. I know. First time, like you guys could get out there and play Tampa. You know, it's pretty cool. And yeah, no, we've definitely got some character in Jacksonville. But going back to the wife question, I do have a 4-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
There we go.
He's
That
a
I
dog
have to make
dad.
sure she's
There you
taken
go.
care of.
Right.
And you know, she's like my daughter, so it's like, you know,
You got your priorities.
so it's a big thing too. Yeah.
Perma daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They never grow up to resent you.
Never, or at least I don't think so.
Well,
So,
they don't tell you at
my
least.
delusional brain. Yeah.
Now, if I may, Ken, I like to dig into a little bit of history with these guys for a second. I always do this with bands. You obviously have the Gibson. What is the name of your guitar?
Like, do I have a nickname for
Yeah,
it?
yeah. You know, like B.B. King had Lucille.
Lucille, yeah. You put me on the spot, man. Honestly, I don't have one for it yet.
Really?
And it's ironic because this is my newest guitar. I always resented playing Les Pauls for a long time just because they're so heavy.
Right.
And our shows, I like to really kind of move around on stage and that kind of thing. So
Chris looks manic.
yeah.
Upsetting.
So it wasn't until my buddy Ben McLeod, who plays in a band called All Them Witches, we got to record with him, and he let me play his Les Paul on the record we just did with him. And I was like, "How is it so light?" He's like, "Well, it's chambered,
Right.
so it's
Right.
actual chamber, so it's weight relieved, which is awesome, and you don't lose any tone, and it's like my number one right now, man. But I do need a name for it.
For everybody at home, that was just a lot of nerdy stuff.
No, this is the thing. We're always
We
trying to,
got it.
We like to.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm hoping that we're speaking to the music nerds out there a
Yeah.
little bit. We try to reach the general public too, but generally every now and then. So the thing about that, for the listeners who don't know, a chambered guitar just basically means they drilled out a bunch of the wood
Yeah.
to lighten it up and alter the sound just a hair, but not any way that's going to be noticeable to anybody else. So
it's a great
you learn
guitar.
something every day.
Yeah, it's an awesome guitar, man.
Yeah, and just, you know, watching you guys here, like, I mean, for the listeners that are listening, if you can see what we're seeing live, like, I'm watching, you know, you on the drums, you on the guitar, and you just, like, into it. Like, what do you guys work out? Like, how do you keep yourself in shape? Because you're obviously jumping around and you're just going at it. Like, do you guys have a workout routine that you guys do?
Drums is my workout.
Do you even lift, bro?
Moving a drum kit
Dude,
to and
bro.
from the gig, playing.
You know
the
what? You
gig,
have a good
yeah,
point.
That's
I used to, do a lot of cardio, and I realized like now that I'm in my late 20s,
Yeah.
I probably need to bring that back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard with music. I think a lot of people at the end of the day, they'll go to the gym, but for us, it's like we're always doing music. So it's like work and music, and everything else is just a luxury, you know?
I call it walking, yo. I'm walking from here to there, yo. Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So personally, I don't work out nearly as much as I should because the amount of gigs that I play right now are generally the most working out that I do.
Yeah.
But we are coming up to the end of the show pretty soon. I'd love to hear, maybe we're going to get to like 2 more songs, I think, from you guys, if that's okay with you. In the meantime, once again, you can listen to the show online at WMNF.org. You can listen to us live at WMNF 88.5 FM, and you can hear this show in podcast form wherever you get your podcasts. Set that notification to let you know as soon as a new episode drops, and you can listen to it anytime, anywhere. So, without further ado, I would love to hear another song from you guys, if we can do that.
Yeah, this one's probably my favorite to play, so this will be fun.
Perfect.
Our guitars still sound good, Mark? Cool. All right, let's hit it. This is Levitate. All right, take us there, Skitch. Strike the decree, order the front line. This will be the last of my crime. Decimate the mind, rivers drown in peace. Levitate for me. Lights out when I heard you breathing. Lights out when I saw you leaving. Lights out, I thought you were leaving town. Hands where I can see, screamed out of fright. We're all actors, frozen in stage light. Decimate the mind, rivers drown in peace. Levitate for me. Lights out when I heard you breathing. Lights out when I saw you leaving. Lights out, I thought you were leaving town. Lights out when I heard you breathing. Lights out when I saw you leaving. Lights out, I thought you were leaving town. Lights out when I heard you breathing. Lights out when I saw you leaving. Lights out, I thought you were leaving town. Yeah. Lights out when I heard you breathing. Lights out when I saw you leaving. Lights out, I thought you were leaving town.
You're listening to Live Music Showcase here on 88.5 FM. So that's pretty much our show. We're rounding out the show here in just a little bit. Before it gets away from me, frankly, we have such a huge crew behind the scenes here on this show. There's so many people that are involved in this show, all of the different roles that come into place. We have a video crew, we have an audio crew, we have people that are just running around helping everybody else. It's amazing. Sound mixer Mark Perfetti on the audio, making everyone sound amazing in spite of any kind of technical difficulties that might arise. He is the man. Our co-host today, DJ Spaceship of Waves of the Bay, every Saturday night, 10 p.m. till noon, until midnight. Bob Hoke is our video director. Richard Stone is our post-video production. Marcy Connors and Ed Lehman are our camera operators today on the live stream. Thank you guys so much for making this bald head look a little bit less shiny. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Brian Van Fleet and Micaiah Caldwell, board ops for today. Our photographer is Chandler Collada, and Pamela Robinson is our audio assistant today. I think I got everybody. That should be everyone. So before we round out the show, and I definitely want to hear a song from you guys to take us out, but before we get into that, it's no coincidence that DJ Spaceship is on the show today, because frankly, this is Black History Month. It's February, and while I think Black History deserves more than 1 month, it is a good opportunity to showcase Black people and Black culture in a positive light, in a way that lets those talented and fantastic individuals really shine. So with that in mind, quickly, but DJ Spaceship, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Because frankly, personally, if I'm being transparent, it can be an uncomfortable subject for some people. You know, it can be difficult to broach that subject, even if it's something that they support. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Black History Month. I mean, I talk. I love to talk. Like long walks on the beach. I could talk about anything, but I can understand how certain topics and subjects can be uncomfortable for people. That's why I say you have to be able to have the uncomfortable conversations. Black History Month is amazing. It gives a chance for other people to find out things that they may have not known or never heard before. Like there's things that I found out about Black history that I've never known, outside of the Martin Luthers and the Malcolms and, the Sojourner Truths and stuff like that, like the Benjamin Banneker, the history behind who built the architect behind the White House. Even the architect that's back in the 1920s, Paul Williams, who built houses in the States for the likes of Lucille Ball and people like that. And, the different, adversities that they faced, but they still, pushed through and made it happen. So, I mean, I just love being able to sit down and share, my culture and my history and heritage with everybody. If they're willing to listen, I'm willing to talk. You guys out there listening to me, right?
Yeah.
So, it's wonderful. And then the food, oh my God, just, just y'all might not see it. I'm a fat kid on the inside, really, but I'm like, you know, just trying to keep myself in shape, not become a shape.
Just enough.
Yeah, because if I do get too big, then I'll be the number 10 for Halloween. You know, right now I'm the 1, but if I get too big, I'll be the 0, and that's all the good food and stuff
There
like
it
that.
is.
But yeah, man, it's I just love it, man. Just being able to talk and share and educate and have conversations and sit down and find out about other people's heritage and stuff and history too.
You know, and on that subject too, like personally growing up, I grew up in Missouri in essentially in the early 90s and mid 90s, you know, as a younger child, and then, you know, grew up. But something I discovered as an adult was how whitewashed my history, you know, in school was, you know, learning about things as an adult that I feel like I really should have learned about as a child.
Right.
And I really can't say how or why that happened the way it happened, whether it was intentional or it just happened that way. But the reality is, I think there's a lot of people out there that are like that too. And I think the place where it starts to get uncomfortable is when you start looking back at the way you were when you were younger. You start looking back at the decisions you made, or the decisions that were made around you that you didn't do anything about, and you realize that maybe that wasn't the right way to go. And the only way to improve, I think, is to not disregard that history and disregard those experiences, but to take them and embrace them for what they were, and try to learn from them.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I'm not the guy that needs to be leading the charge. I'm the guy that needs to go, okay, I need to learn from this.
My mom, we call her the mothership. She taught all of us something that she called CNC, character, not color. So you judge a person based on their character, not their color, because you have, just to say, you have good blacks, bad blacks, whites, Spanish, different races and colors and stuff. So if you're going to judge colors, then you have a lot of judging to do, but he who without sin cast the first stone. So there's a lot of stones put to the side of my house growing up as a kid. Like even now with my family now, it's like the United Nations. We have an aunt that looks like A. Marie, and I have Latin people in my family. As a matter of fact, my oldest daughter, shout out to Damaris, she's Hispanic. So, and it's interesting, to see, black comes in so many different cultures, and it's just different, so.
And I mean, on that note, I don't know any other way to end it, really, frankly. So thank you so much for being on the show, DJ Spaceship, man. Thank you for doing Waves of the Bay, 10 to midnight every Saturday night. If you guys want to take us out with a song, we'd love that.
Yes.
Go for it, you guys. This is Live Music Showcase, WMNF Tampa.
This one's for DJ Spaceship. Let it out and see. Let out all the door. Let it out, let it out. Let out you falling dove. I can see the blood from your mouth, withering spout. Spit it out, spit it out, spit it out, spit it out. I can see the blood from your mouth, black rain from the clouds. Walk that line, we got carried away. Down the ice, shadow on the grave. Walk the ivy street, standing in front of me. It's cold. one thing that you are. Be the 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 one thing that you are.